Wow, wow, wow. I have to tell you, Sean Payton, you made my day. Sean Payton goes off on Nathaniel Hackett like no sitting coach has ever done to another sitting coach. I mean, this is new stuff. This is perfect. This is perfect harmony going as far as I'm concerned. For me, anyway. I've told you all along, Sean Payton, not that good a guy, and he proved, hey, Nathaniel Hackett, I'm squishing you under my thumb. That's exactly what he did today. He squished Nathaniel Hackett under my thumb. He literally said, Nathaniel Hackett might have done the worst coaching job in the history of the NFL. Now he's talking about last year's coach that he took his place. He's talking about a coach that has a sitting position, who is the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets, a guy that's actually working. Sean, I've not heard back from what Nathaniel Hackett has had to say, but talk about he's not smelling the bus fumes. He literally has bus tire treads across his entire body. Whatever they did last year, we're going to do the exact opposite. Whatever they did last year, we are changing. This team was so bad, they led the NFL in offense and defenses, penalties before the snap. They led the league in penalties before the ball was even snapped. They couldn't get a playoff. I called for Nathaniel Hackett almost every week last year. I was calling at the start of the year. I said, Rock only goes so far, and if he's not winning, then in the preseason he did everything wrong. Then he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready when the season started to get a play in. They gave up a touchdown in that first game. They win at least 3 games without the stupidity that happened on the sidelines with the coaches making bad decisions, making bad calls, delay of games when they needed it. And Sean Payton called him out with just saying, might be the worst job in the history of the NFL. Now, I love it. Sean Payton says he's going to be pissed if this team doesn't make the playoffs. Well, yeah, I think there are a lot of teams. Greg Penner came out in his State of the Broncos address and said, you know what, this team, we're changing the culture across the board. We know how to do that. We've done it. We did it in Walmart. Now he needs to know how to do it between how he ran his old company. The guy's a billionaire. He's facing the media. He's facing guys like me. And just having to say, we're going to do this differently. We're changing the culture. We're going to make people accountable. We're going to do all the things that we need to do to make this team better. I have told you that this team is going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win this division. But I think they can win 11 games. I'm more convinced of that this morning. I am more convinced of the fact this morning that this team is going to get by and make this team a viable candidate to be there. Might be the worst coaching job in the history of the NFL. Absolutely hilarious. There's so much hyperbole going on, all the things that we see that happen across this league. A coach came out and said that, a sitting coach said that about another sitting coach. Even more, the Broncos have to play the Jets. And what, week 3, week 4, whatever it might be. I'm sitting on that right now. which is amazing. I am so what a way to kick off training camp. It gets going tomorrow, and I tell you what, this team will be ready to go. 5th week of the season. Mark this, put this down on your calendar, okay? It is October 8th, and that will be the Jets come into town here, and there's going to be a lot of hatred going on. And you know what? The likes of you, me, and all the media in this town, we are absolutely going to love this. The season couldn't have gotten kicked off any better. Now, Sean Payton didn't make a lot of friends today, unless you happen to be in the Denver media, because we were all screaming and hollering about what was going on here in town, and no one was doing anything about it. He says it's like the parents watching a bad coach make mistakes and doing nothing about it. Then he called out that includes the coaching staff, that was working there, that includes the general manager, that includes the owners. He called everybody out saying no one did anything about it till they fired his butt. Well, what a way to kick off the season. I am excited about this is going on. Sean Payton, you made my day. You didn't necessarily make the day of a lot of guys that are going to be involved in the season playing against. There's going to be a lot of backlash about what Sean Payton did, but Sean Payton's not trying to make friends. He said this team last year, they were trying to win the off season, and that is so true. They said they spent all the time trying to win the off season. That is so laughable because it is so true. Great, we're going to win the off season. Well, you know what? That doesn't calculate to a lot of victories. You look at what Nathaniel Hackett did. He went into the season with an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, a special teams coordinator, and himself, who had never actually coached in a game in the positions that they were actually coaching in last year, and then they couldn't get plays in. They didn't practice any of that during the preseason, during games. They played none of those guys. I was screaming last year. What are you doing? You got to put these guys in. They've got to know how to play with each other. They've improved the offensive line, okay? They have done that. They have done so many things to improve this team. The running game will be more than ready to go. Javonte Williams will be back. Saman J. Perrine is a cannonball guy. He's a 5'10", 235 pounds, good short yardage guy. Cortland Sutton has come out and said, Jerry Jeudy has come out and said, Tim Patrick, everybody in this offense says, hey, if this offensive receivers stay healthy, this team is going to score a lot of points. Now, in order to do what I said they're going to do, they got to go from 16 points a game that they did last year to 26 points a game. And they can finish it. They can then finish this season 11-6. They can't win this division unless they score 30 or 32 points a game, because Kansas City's going to do that. But if they can take this offense, which was one of the worst in the league last year, as we know, one of the most given up in sacks, one of the most intercepted, one of the most sacked across the board, that won't happen this year. They've improved that offensive line. They've changed the offense. They're going to be somewhat run first, which means the defensive edge rushers can't just tee off and kind of go after Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has bought into what's going on. I am excited about what's going on here. You watch and see what I told you is going to happen is starting to happen right now. And why? Because Sean Payton is wearing that chip on his shoulder, or what is the ever-ready battery guy that said, hey, want to take my chip off my shoulder? Go ahead, I dare you. God, do I love this. All right. Let's take a quick break right now. We'll be back.